All right, let's dive into the world of AI, which, let's be honest, is moving at lightning speed. Today, we're breaking down a brand new report from the tech research firm Virtualization Options LLC. They've mapped out the entire landscape of these large language models, and they've introduced a serious new player that's about to shake things up. So, let's get right into it.
I mean, it feels like every other week there's a new model that's supposed to change everything, right? The whole space is just blowing up. So the real question we have to ask is what's actually the next big leap forward? And more importantly, what's it going to mean for all of us?
So, before we can even talk about what's coming, we've got to get the lay of the land right now. And the current AI landscape, well, it's not just a bunch of tech. It's more like a super competitive arena, with giants and scrappy newcomers all fighting for that top spot. This isn't something that's coming, it's a revolution that's happening right now in real time.
And the speed of all this is just staggering. Seriously, look at this. You can think of parameters as basically the number of brain cells an AI has. Back in 2018, GPT-1 at 117 million. Fast forward just 2 years, and GPT-3 hits the scene with 17.5 billion. That jump from millions to billions is the reason we're seeing this absolute explosion of models today, from the huge corporate players to all the amazing open source options.
Now, all this innovation is amazing. It's changing entire industries. But let's be real, it's also kind of confusing. You've got all these different models. They all have different strengths. How in the world are you supposed to figure out which one is the right tool for what you need to do? Well, that's exactly the question we're going to help you answer today.
So, let's meet the current heavyweights. These are the established champions of the AI arena, the models that are setting the bar for anyone else who wants to step into the ring. First up, you've got the reigning king of the hill, OpenAI's GPT-4. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. It can understand not just text, but images too. It's built on what's called a mixture of experts architecture, which is a fancy way of saying it's like having a whole team of specialized AIs that work together. It's the gold standard for reasoning, the one everyone else is trying to beat.
Next up, we've got Google's Gemini. And its biggest superpower isn't just its raw tech, it's its home field advantage. Gemini is woven directly into everything Google. Search, Gmail, Google Docs, all of it. That deep integration gives it a massive reach to billions of people, whether you're using it for work or just in your daily life.
Then there's Anthropic's Claude, which plays a completely different game. Its whole identity is built around safety. They use something they call constitutional AI, which basically means the AI has a built-in, unchangeable set of ethical rules. That makes it the go-to choice for places like finance and healthcare, where you absolutely cannot afford mistakes.
And we absolutely can't forget the people's champions, the open source models like Llama 3 and Mistral. These are a game changer because they offer what the big guys can't, total control. You get privacy, you get to customize it however you want. It's the foundation of this huge growing world for developers who want to build things on their own terms.
Okay, so that's our crowded field of champions. With all that firepower, what would it take for a new contender to enter the arena and totally change the game? Well, that brings us to our main event. Let's do a deep dive into GPT-5, a model that looks like it's about to set a completely new standard for everyone.
So what's its secret weapon?
Well, it's all about working smarter, not just harder. It's got this really clever hybrid architecture. See, instead of using one massive, slow model for everything, GPT-5 has a smart router. You ask it a simple question, it sends it to a small, zippy model. You give it a super complex problem, it routes that to a much bigger, more powerful thinking model. It's the best of both worlds, incredible power and efficiency.
Now let's talk about sheer scale. Get ready for this number, 272,000. That's its token context window. In plain English, that means its memory is just gigantic. You could feed it an entire novel, I'm talking something huge like Moby Dick, and it could remember every single character, every plot twist from cover to cover, all in one shot. That's a mind-blowing leap in what these things can understand.
Okay, for all you developers watching, this next number is an absolute showstopper. GPT-5 scores almost 75% on something called the SWE bench. This is a notoriously difficult test, where the AI has to solve real-world coding problems from GitHub. This isn't just a little better, it's a world-class performance that makes it maybe the best coding partner an engineer could ask for.
And maybe the most important number of all is this one. It's about trust. GPT-5 shows a 26% drop in hallucinations. That's the technical term for when an AI just confidently makes stuff up. Being more than a quarter less likely to do that, even compared to the excellent GPT-4o, is a huge, huge step towards building an AI we can actually rely on.
But okay, let's be real. No model is perfect, and the report is very clear about this. The strengths are obvious: amazing coding, next-level reasoning. But it's not without its weak spots. The smaller, faster models can sometimes get tripped up on really complex instructions, and like every AI out there, it's not totally immune to being deceptive. It's a powerful but complex system that's still being perfected.
All right, so the specs and the numbers are super impressive. But what does all this actually mean for us, in the real world? Let's take a look at how these new powers translate into actual practical uses from your text editor to a doctor's office.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for any of this. Cursor, which is a super popular AI tool that developers use every day, called GPT-5, and I quote, the smartest model with half the tool error rate. Now, when a leading company in the space gives that kind of praise, you know the impact on productivity is going to be absolutely massive.
And it's not just about writing code. Check this out. This chart shows performance on a really tough benchmark for medical reasoning. And that jump, it's incredible. GPT-5 is scoring nearly 50% higher than its predecessor. Now, this shows its potential as an amazing assistant for medical professionals. Always a partner, of course, never a replacement.
Okay, so now that we've seen what the new contender can do, let's bring all the champions back into the ring for a final side-by-side. Because this is all about helping you figure out how to choose the right AI for what you actually need to get done.
Here it is, the tail of the tape. You can see GPT-4's raw power right there, you see Claude's specialized focus, and Gemini's incredible reach. But then you look over at GPT-5, and you see that unique hybrid system, that monster 272K context window, and that best rating for coding. It really just shows you, plain as day, where the new bar has been set.
So, what's the bottom line? How do you pick one? Well, it really boils down to this. If you're a developer, where you need an AI to handle really complex, multi-step projects, GPT-5 is your new best friend. If you're in a field where safety is everything, Claude is still the ideal choice. If you live and breathe Google, Gemini just makes sense. And if you need total control and privacy, open source is the only way to go.
And that really is the crucial point here. Yes, GPT-5 is a beast, and it absolutely sets a new standard for what's possible. But the bigger story is that the whole idea of a single best AI is kind of fading away. The world of AI is so diverse now, so specialized, that the best tool really truly depends on the job you're trying to do. And that leaves us with one last, really big question. These tools are getting more powerful at a pace that's hard to even comprehend. GPT-5 is a massive leap, but it's just the next step. So the question we're left with is both incredibly exciting and kind of profound. Now that we have AI this capable, what really hard problem are we going to choose to solve next?